Hey guys, I am hiking here with my wife. We are going deep woods and then we're going up the side of a mountain finding a creek. We found a place that we can kayak, that they have a drop off and a pickup, which is totally awesome. Look at this, guys. It is a very bright sunny day, but the woods are so thick here that hardly any light is getting through. When I talk about Romans 1 to people, the first thing they think about is what? God giving them up, God giving them up, God giving them over. Basically, God washing his hands of his creation because of their decisions and their choices. But again, where did it start? Guys, you won't believe it. They were not grateful. They didn't acknowledge God. They could see God all around them. They could look up into the heavens that declare his glory. The downfall of most decisions with everyone is not trusting God, not seeking God, not having faith in God. But before all of that, yet again, is they were not grateful for the life that they were living and all that God had done for them and all that God had given them. They just took it for granted. Look how scenic this is. Leaves everywhere. Right now it's about 60s. Leaves are falling off the trees. And we're going up. And eventually that is the goal of all of us. We want to go up and not down. Good morning, guys. I have been hiking with Tracy. We've been having a great time after we're done hiking. We're gonna go get some subs after 5 o'clock. It's basically a buy one, get one free. One of my favorite stories in the entire Bible is about leopards, because leprosy is basically telling us our condition of what we are to God. We have an incurable disease, which is called sin, a nature, which is our flesh, and without God getting involved through his Son, through his Spirit, you and I can't be saved. It takes God to get to God. So one day Jesus is out there with the disciples and he's preaching, he's walking, he's eating, he's fellowshipping. And there's these leopards. You know what they say? Son of David, have mercy on us. And God does. Jesus heals the leopards. Do you realize leprosy was an incurable disease that you rotted from the inside out? When you walked around town, you had to scream unclean. They had no way to cure it. They had no way to deal with it other than isolation. People thought you were cursed if you had this. If you rubbed against someone, it was thought that you could receive leprosy. Jesus heals them. What does Jesus say to do? He says, go present yourself to the priest. Because see, it was only the priest that could say that you were absolutely cleansed. Until the priest said, you are cleansed. You would have almost like a certificate that said that I can go around society now. Because if you didn't get that from the priest, you would go to jail. When they were leaving, they had no idea that they were cleansed. Do you understand? They're probably still looking, well, I'm not cleansed. What bull crap is this? Look at this spot here. Look at this spot here. Look at my eye. But walking, the text tells us that God healed them. It requires faith sometimes. Friends, can I ask you this question? Is there something that God is asking of you that requires great faith? And maybe, like the leopards, you're a little hesitant to walk back. I mean, you want to see it with your eyes. Show me the proof, Jesus. It doesn't look like I'm healed. But as they're walking away, God healed them. They showed themselves to the priest as Jesus commanded. But the story takes a crazy turn. Only one of the 10 came back and said, thank you. Only one. 10 people that had a death sentence on them. Imagine you were in death row. One night you had a couple drinks. You were just with your family. You're at the Outback. And you're feeling good. All of a sudden, you're not a drunk. You're feeling good. And you're like, I'll just take one more of those. And your wife says, let me drive. And you're like, I got it, honey. That didn't affect me at all. But you get into a head-on collision. Someone dies. Your alcohol was higher than you thought. And now you're on death row. But you were pardoned by the governor, by the president. One day, you're going to face the death penalty. You're going to be sitting in old Sparky, or they're going to put these injections into your body because you took life. And now you've been given life back. Those 10 leopards have been given life back, and yet, do you see the percentage there? Do you understand what the story is really saying? It's saying this: out of 10, only one will respond to the gospel message of Jesus Christ. No matter how much I preach, no matter how many times a grandmom is praying for that individual or this or that, God only saves a certain amount of people. Before the foundations of the earth, their name was written in the Lamb's Book of Life, and the Spirit of God comes upon those individuals in His timing and makes that which is dead alive. And then from that moment on, they will eventually respond to the gospel, to having newness of life, and they will pray, they will cry out, they will look up into the heavens, whence cometh their help, and they'll get saved. Only one said thank you. Do you know I got my feelings extremely hurt recently? I had given something away, and I could have sold it, but I thought to myself, you know what? This person, I know they could use it. So no strings attached. Here you go. It's very valuable. Cost me. And the next day I happened to run into that person, and I said, hey, you like? How is it? Oh, I haven't really even opened it. I haven't even kind of looked at it or anything. Oh my gosh. I tell you what, I felt like someone just jammed me through the heart with a wooden stake. Not grateful. Friends, how many people are not grateful for the lives that they have right now? You can be grateful as you still want more. Most people don't understand that. They feel like if I'm grateful, God will think I don't want any more. God knows you. God says He knew Jeremiah in the womb. He knows everything about you. He knows your greediness. He knows if you're lusting. He knows everything about us. And Christ came while He knew we were like what we are. Do you understand? He came while we were yet sinners. And still, when you give something, there's no strings attached. It's yours. I can't hold that over that person. But here's the thing. Make sure that you have a heart full of gratitude to the Father for the Son, to the Father for the Spirit. When I think about it, I don't know of anyone else who's died for me, specifically for me, because the Bible tells me that Jesus, if I was the only one, would have came just for me. The numbers don't lie. Nor do our actions, nor do our attitudes, nor do our devotion to God. The things we do, the things we think, the things we say, they don't lie. They tell who we belong to. Make sure when you look in the mirror that you see the reflection of Christ, and that day and night, night and day, that you are saying thank you for all that He's already given to you. Again, it doesn't hinder what He's going to do for you in the future. It just allows Him to know that you're going to be grateful when He opens the fullness of heaven in your direction here on earth. Don't be the leopard that got healed and went off and did his own thing. Many a times, people are blessed by God mightily in this life, and they go about not doing their Father's business, but doing Satan's business. Give all glory to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords this very day. Thank you for watching.